yesterday, Horowitz, okay? This is what the IG, Inspector General Horowitz report, this is what America should be tuned into. Now, I told you in the opening, if you think impeachment is a coincidence that it's happening in December to step all over this report, if nothing else is happening in Washington, D.C., and your representative was actually doing their job and talking to their constituents back home and standing on the floor making speeches about how many people died in their district from opiate addiction, right? If they were speaking on the floor concerning how many people in their district had to file bankruptcy based on medical bills because they just got sick, all right? If that's what they were doing, okay? But no, they're doing this impeachment with no crime. There's no bribery in there. There's no crime, nothing. But they got to go through it for a couple reasons, because if nothing else is happening, you're watching Inspector General's report, Horowitz's report yesterday, and this is where the action is. This is where the facts are. The fact witnesses. No fact witnesses over here, but the media is playing games. So yesterday, Ted Cruz, all right? And the reason I want to talk about you hear the FISA warrant, and I want to bring it home to you this morning. Okay, other shows sensationalized clips. I try to bring some things home, okay? You hear the FISA warrant, and you don't know, FISA warrant, okay? But we do know that the FISA warrant to surveil Carter Page and spy on the Trump campaign was obtained by false information, bad information. So let's play the last one real quick with Ted Cruz, because there's a couple takeaways, because we're going to talk about it. We just played it. Play it one more time.
So the men and women at home need to know what's happening. A lawyer at the FBI creates fraudulent evidence, alters an email. That is in turn used as the basis for a sworn statement to the court that the court relies on. Am I stating that accurately?
That's correct. That is what occurred.
Now
Men and women at home need to know. That's because he's talking to us, the men and women at home, not the swamp rats, not the media, not Chuck Todd, not Gumby, Joe Scarborough, Gumby head, and face stretched tight Minka. Sorry if I am ticking anybody off. No, the people at home. We're going to go with this. Now go with one more video, because I want to stay on this subject. Falsified information, okay? Let's go with warrants based on bogus dossier. Horowitz sets him straight video. You got that one? It says Blumenthal tries to justify Carter Page warrants based on bogus dossier. Run it, kid.
Those FISA warrants, they were renewed a number of times, correct?
3 times.
Based on your experience and maybe your report, there's a reason why warrants are renewed. They're renewed because they are producing useful information, correct?
Or they should be producing useful information.
They should be.
Is how I'll phrase it.
And your review of those warrants would indicate that they were producing useful information, correct?
Not sure that's entirely correct, and I don't know how much I can say about that in this setting.
Well, they were producing information.
They were producing information. I'm not sure how I would characterize whether they were helpful or not.
Really? You should be in fear of your government today. Now, remember, last week or whatever, they preempted a preemptive strike saying that Horowitz, just give me number 17. We'll go with that one, okay? All right. Horowitz request for surveillance of Carter Page misleading to the court. Misleading. Now, they kept renewing the warrants, knowing the basis that they got the warrant in the first place was false. The dossier was false. Now, let me bring this down to what the people at home need to know. And why the people at home, Ted Cruz said yesterday, need to know is for this. The FISA court and getting a warrant to surveil, Carter Page is no different in so many ways of your local magistrate in the county you live. Why, it's a big difference. No, it's not. It's not. Let me say this, okay? There's certain judges that can issue warrants in certain areas. Certain judges can issue FISA warrants. Certain judges can issue any kind of warrants, okay? So, judges in this country, now let's get off the liberal, conservative, let's get off this judge in the FISA court was wanting to help them because they're all liberal whack jobs. Let's get off of all of the partisan for just a second, okay? What you need to know at home is an email was falsified that changed the substance of the whole entire case and was presented to a judge. So you have law enforcement, you have your sheriff, you have your city police officer, you got your district attorney, you got GBI, that's here, Georgia Bureau of Investigation if you're in Georgia. If you're in Florida, you got FBI, Florida, I don't know what you got. But anyhow, right? And they can pull a warrant at 3 o'clock in the morning. They might need. So they get a magistrate out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, this is why Ted Cruz said, this is what the men and women need to know at home, and you need to be in fear of your government today. And I know how I sound, but it's shocking and it's scary, and we need to take hold of it now. I mean, because they're trying to remove a sitting president, a duly elected. But to me, there's other points that are not being stressed, and they're very simple, like Ted Cruz said. So you got a magistrate. Well, when your sheriff or your city police officer or your district attorney or your GBI agent, they grab them out of bed, they're sitting at the bench. They're at the mercy of the individual being honest with them. Absolutely. Now, you are taking an oath. No matter, you're to never walk in. I don't care if it's your magistrate in your local county where you're at. You're to never walk in, all right, and look for a warrant from a judge based on false information. Never. The judge has to. There's a level of respect. There's a level of trust on all levels, from magistrate to whatever, any judge, superior court judge, no matter who. There's a level of trust. So when you're standing before somebody in any county in the United States of America and you are somebody looking for a warrant to surveil, a warrant to do, a judge will say, hey, you haven't given me enough information. And I'm not saying it's because you've seen this on TV or you saw this the other night or saw seen, you know how I get, but it's not a TV thing. But judges may say, hey, this warrant is right up to the edge, and I'm going to have to go on what you're telling me. falsified information. And then not only did they use falsified information to get a warrant to spy, okay, on the Trump campaign, they went 3 times with this false information. This is the story in America today. This is the real story, not impeachment. We understand it's a sad state of affairs that our President of the United States is going to be impeached next week. I mean, it's terrible. This is what, okay? 18, number 18. He uncovered 17 errors or omissions in the page surveillance. Spying. 17 omissions. 17 things they forgot to tell the judge. Oh, sorry, Your Honor. We forgot. Well, we were in a hurry. Trump's a mover, Jack. He's a mover and a shaker, and he's got that Paul Manafort working for him, and we know he's a little crooked, and we got Rudy Giuliani, and he's been a crime fighter for 50 years. He could catch on to what we were doing. They spied on the Trump campaign. Now, the FBI briefed Clinton's campaign as just a we need to let you know warning, but they briefed Trump's campaign in a whole different way. They said things in the Trump campaign, the FBI did, so they could sit back and see what Trump would do with it or his campaign. Totally trying to set the campaign up. Right? Who was it yesterday that made this reference? And I don't want to steal the reference, but I can't remember who said it. It's like when Dianne Feinstein from San Francisco, when we found out that, 20 years, she had a Chinese driver for her for 20 years that was a spy. Well, when they found out that the driver was a spy, they told her, right? What if they would have found out he was a spy 5 years before they told her, just to see if what she would do, if she would help the spy, give the spy information, what if? That's basically what they did to the Trump administration. 17 errors or omissions. Well, let me tell you something. You and I would never get 17 errors or omissions in life in this. They went and pulled a phony warrant, and this is high level. There's no way Comey, Obama, Brennan, Clapper, no way any of these people, McCabe, Bruce Orr, Nellie Orr, no way one of these people. Now, the sad thing for the FBI is, they got 31,000 agents or people across the world, country or whatever, if that's what it is. But anyhow, the agents, this is the high up. And if Christopher Wray, the acting director of the FBI today, does not agree, he needs to go. You need to be in fear. 17 omissions, okay? Here is number 19, Dianne Feinstein. Horowitz slams FBI handling of Russian probe. Uncovered 17 errors in admissions, okay? But 21, Department of Justice Inspector General Russia probe justified. Contradicts Trump and his allies, says FBI justified to open the probe, okay? the FBI can at any time find justification to say they want to look into something. They don't have to have a whole lot. Okay? So the media knows that. All right? The media knows that. Let me go to, we know they went 3 times, folks. 3 times to get the renew the warrant. Let me get another one here. I don't want that one yet. This is on. This is the Mark Meadows Twitter video that he put up. Do you have that one? It says Horowitz, FBI created fraudulent evidence. An investigation implies illegal surveillance. Yeah, I sent it at 6:16 a.m. It's actually, I sent it at 6:16, and the article, the top of the article, Horowitz, FBI created fraudulent evidence and investigating implying illegal surveillance. That should have been the first one I sent to you this morning. And Mark Meadows tweeted out the video. So, if you have that one, that may be the same one. We did, is it the same one? All right. All right, well then let's go to Lindsey Graham. Why didn't the FBI give Trump a defense briefing about what was going on in his campaign? Let's go to that one.
That's what I want every American to know. From the time they opened up Crossfire Hurricane till this debacle was over, they never made any effort to brief Donald Trump about suspected problems within his campaign. They had one briefing talking about, the Russians are out there, you better beware. Nothing about Carter Page, nothing about Papadopoulos, nothing about the other people that they thought might be working with the Russians. Why did they not tell him that? I hope you can give us an answer. Bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, a counterintelligence investigation is a good thing until it becomes a bad thing. Because it doesn't take much to open one. And the worst thing can happen is for people to open one up whose real purpose is not to protect an American, but to surveil them. Senator Feinstein found herself in a situation all of us may one day find ourselves in. A longtime employee was suspected of having ties to a foreign government. They informed her and she took appropriate action. How easy would it be for somebody to come in our campaigns as a volunteer? We really don't know who they are. You just appreciate any help you can get. How easy would it be for all of us to get caught up in this scenario? I hope all of us would appreciate, if you really believe there's somebody in my campaign working with a foreign power, please tell me so I can do something about it. Why didn't they tell Trump?
Campaigns need bodies. They do, okay? They absolutely. Lindsey Graham, exactly what I told you with Feinstein, okay? Now, I know there's so many great clips out there this morning. Great clips, good clips, whatever. Get a haircut. Am I doing a commercial for great clips? There's so many great video clips that you want to see. And I watched about an hour and a half of this in different portions, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. This is where the action is. This is where the fear that we're going through in this, that we should be paying attention to in this day and age, number 15, Okay, IG Horowitz testifies decision to open probe of 2016 campaign was justified. As you can see, that's MSNBC this morning, Morning Joe and Minka, justified. They're going to use the word justified all day long on the other news networks. Because what did Lindsey Graham just say to you, the American people, yesterday where the action is? Counter intel, surveillance, one briefing. Now, when the FBI goes to brief the Trump campaign, okay, they're suspicious of George Papadopoulos and Carter Page. They're suspicious that they may have ties to Russia. So when they go and they brief Hillary Clinton's campaign, hey, watch out, the Russians are out there. Just keep your eye open. Let us know if you see anything or hear anything suspicious. We wish you well. You will find the text messages later that actually wish you well under an investigation. But have a nice campaign. Then they go over one briefing. One briefing with the Trump campaign. When they sit down, they just say, be careful of the Russians out there. They left the next couple sentences out like, you know what? How well do you guys know George Papadopoulos? Are you guys okay with him? Are you guys okay with Carter Page? Are you guys good with some of their foreign connections? We're not found anything yet, but there's a couple conversations, a couple phone calls or trips that are of interest. Are you guys in the campaign okay? Yeah, we're okay. That didn't happen. Okay, well, you guys keep your eye out, and we need to let you know, we're keeping an eye out too. Okay, thanks for the heads up. Did not happen. Did not happen. The FBI higher-ups, Comey, all of them, from Barack Obama, everyone, and don't think Hillary and them didn't know about it. They wanted the Trump campaign to really slip up. Not be warned and be able to head off a problem. Let me tell you something about campaigns, okay? They need bodies. These people run. And there's not the vetting that needs to be. Now, on a higher level of president, they come into an area, okay? And they have different people. Now, I'm not talking this close to the president, but they have different people working in these campaigns. They have to have bodies. Now, obviously, maybe they should vet the people a little closer. Look at their background. I don't know. See if they have a Russian neighbor. I don't know. But when you're running a campaign 50 states, you're running a congressional campaign with 20 counties. You take every volunteer that'll hand out a card. If you can get, I'm going to call them kids, if you can get, 20 college kids to come to your event, wear your sticker and go through the room trying to put stickers on people or hand out cards, you do it. And you don't have a real background process into these people. Now, they're not in the meeting and get the high-level information. I'm just saying campaigns can be tough, and I don't particularly have a problem if our government tries to safeguard our election. Now, listen to me close, not this false stuff, by keeping an eye on some things and briefing a campaign. If the Trump campaign would have been told on that first briefing that day, okay, we have some concerns, that's a little different. But no, they put them under surveillance. 3 times they went back under FOSS, knowing when they stood before the judge. We need to know, when did the judge know the information that he was renewing the FISA warrants for was false? When was the judge aware of that? When did he become aware that he had been duped his first time? When did the judge say, wait a minute, the first time you guys came here, you knew good and well you were BSing me, But that's not going to happen again. 3 more times they renewed it. When did the judge know they were bringing false information? Did they ever go to the judge and say, hey, since our first appearance here, we found out everything is bogus, but can we use this same information? And you just keep re-signing the warrants? We have a lot of things that need answered. We should be in fear of our government today. I'm sorry to put it that way. We should be in fear right down to the local level where you live. Because let me tell you something. If we let the FISA court go, if we let what happened go, if this is swept under the rug and it never gets handled, trust me, how many warrants are pulled today on bogus information? How many warrants in this country? It needs to stop today. If you want a warrant and you want to look at my phone records, you want a warrant and you want to look into anything, you want a warrant and you want to search my house, my car, you need to go to the judge and you need to be able to prove your reason for that warrant. And you need to also be telling the truth, and the information and your evidence needs to be real, and a judge needs to take it serious before they issue a warrant. Warrants are very serious in this country, and it's scary. I'm telling you, it's flat out scary. If we don't handle what happened, like Ted Cruz said, the people at home need to know that false information. How many of you know? And I'll tell you what, I don't want to get sidetracked, but how many of you know somebody that's in jail today or somebody that's been hauled in and you think the information used to get a warrant was false? Look, I want to trust. I want to. And there's so many magistrates out there that I do know. I know some personally that just would not just go throw a warrant out. But I also know magistrates that know they have to rely on the information they're given. And the reason I use that is, once again, the people at home need to know false information was used to get surveillance warrants for a candidate. You keep watching TV, and what do they tell you? That President Trump asked President Zelensky of Ukraine to investigate the Bidens. And now they say they have to impeach President Trump because he tried to get information on his political opponent. Damn, how's this? I'm telling you right now, we need to be in fear of this government today. Crossfire hurricane, surveillance. You see, they went, like I told you the story, Dianne Feinstein, they went and what? Informed her that the person driving her for 20 years is a Chinese spy. Been driving her around. Huh? You don't hear much about that. And what did she do? She immediately dismissed the individual, right? No, that wasn't in the briefing. FBI didn't tell the Trump campaign, hey, we have some concerns with these people. They may be connected to Russians. We want to look a little closer, and you need to know about it in the campaign. Hey, thanks for warning us. No. One briefing. 3 times renewing. Now, they renewed the FISA warrant, knowing it was false information. They continued the investigation after he became president of the United States. How come the whistleblower, we don't get a whistleblower on the Republican side? How come on the Republican side, nobody goes to jail, nobody gets investigated, or investigated to the point of prison, these people, none of them? And how come a whistleblower thought that a phone call that the President of the United States had with the President of Ukraine was worthy of running and, screeching Eric Charmella to the top of his lungs oh my God, citizens arrest, citizens arrest. But we never get a whistleblower. We never get a patriot. We never get anyone when all of this is happening through the FBI that, hey, what if a person at the FBI said, this is wrong? I am so damn tired of the FBI getting looked at up here like they are friggin' amazing and untouchable. Oh shit, there's a, oh, excuse me. Oh damn, there's SH asterisk asterisk. Rewind that, submit that. Well, how come? The untouchables, the FBI, right? How come? Nobody felt their patriotic duty is to go and fill out a whistleblower complaint. Would it not have? Remember what the hell a damn whistleblower complaint is in the law. It is somebody that's in fear of their job. So they can actually come and be a patriot and blow the whistle and not be in fear of losing their job so they can't make their mortgage and lose their health insurance for their kids. So the true reason the whistleblower complaint was set up, how come somebody surrounding all of this didn't feel the need to tell and do a whistleblower complaint with actual fact witnesses, with actual facts that Horowitz has brought up, with actual facts that Durham will have? How come? But we've got a whistleblower that is a spy. Eric Charmella is a spy, okay? And he goes to Adam Schiff, and we are impeaching a president of the United States. Take a break.